Today I'm gonna do a racist video. Today is June the 5th. It would have been Brianna's birthday. As surely most of you know her story and what happened to her. I will not repeat that now. Just wanna tell you, white watcher, that you have to turn on your brain and make sure anywhere, nowhere, not at all anymore in this world can a thing like this happen. Talk to the people that surround you. And if you notice anything, speak up. This is ended. It's over. Now it's time for equality. We're living in the now, we live in the 2020. So let's stop that. She would have had celebrated today a beautiful party with her friends, family. So I dedicate this video to her, and I wanna talk a little bit about music that shaped my life. And yeah, let's start it. I go with the flow as always, and I have a little venue change today because McDonald's is out of fashion too today, and it never was in fashion. So I'm here at the Burger King Tomato, and I want to start with Michael Jackson. The first stuff that my mama let me listen to when I was inside her as unborn. I know that she was really listening. She was a real fan of him, Michael Jackson was her superstar. She was a big fan and is still. So I guess maybe this was about the first music that I danced to somehow. And it's also the first remembering I have to music is Michael Jackson, all Michael Jackson. I had this, all the CDs from my mother. I played with the CDs when I was little, I was 2 years or whatever. I remember in the car that she made these cassettes, she put back in the day, she did for the car, she only had cassette deck, and she couldn't take the CD into the car, but she wanted to listen to Michael Jackson in the car non-stop, and sometimes, not all the time. I'm grateful for her turning on the radio also, as I heard a lot of beautiful stuff there the first time in the car, in the radio in the car, me as a little child in the back seat, and danced and clapped rhythms to it. I remember that, like 2-3 years old. And she made those cassettes from Michael Jackson, and she did it on her own with the radio. You made her mixtapes. Yeah. My favorite songs of Michael in the early days. I had a real bond to it. It was the Dangerous album, because it was the album that was new when I was really little. So this was the album of the day of Michael Jackson, and then I discovered, I watched those movies when the History compilation came out a few years later, I think 95 or 6. There was also, it was accompanied with a video cassette, and my mother had this, and there were music videos of him with the masks and all that stuff from the Thriller video, like where he looks like a zombie and this kind of stuff, and I was so fascinated with it. And also the booklet, I couldn't read, but I was watching and the videos and listening to music, and also I had the whole package. I also could watch the live stuff, and I could watch the video for what was done as music video, like the Thriller, for example, sticks in my head. Also, all I want to say is that they don't really care about us, and white people, we have to care now about ourselves. You know what I mean with ourselves, of our brain, to keep our sanity. This is insane what happened, last 100 years and longer. What we, as I consider myself not as a white, I'm white, but I feel everybody who did bad stuff in my life was a white person. I also have to admit that I don't know too many black persons personally, because I'm in Austria and there are not too many. But the ones I know, I never had a feeling that they would betray or whatever do shit to me. So white people, I say no white because I look like white for you. It's time for us to accept and to understand and to see, to open their eyes and to know what's going on. And it's going on a fucking weird system that gives us privilege with our skin look. Our look gives us a privilege that we don't even recognize. Okay, that was enough for that. The click has to be made in your brain. I can't make you turn around or whatever in your head from certain views and from certain angles. It has to be done by yourself. So Michael Jackson. Yeah, I was watching all those videos and music, and he was kind of the first artist that I really recognized, that I really fell for, because my mother, she had a big impact on me there. She made it accessible to me. I could put in the CD player all the time I wanted, and I did it, and I danced along, I sang along. I remember one thing what was really cool. There is this song, Stranger in Moscow, that I really like and love. One of my top favorite Michael Jackson songs. I like the vibe and all, and this thing in this whistle of I think it's at the train station. They do that when the train goes or whatever. I'm not expert in training, but I think it's when the train passes away, when he goes away from the station, they make this noise, and it's also in the beginning of the song, and it has this vibe and the guitar and all. Just can say positive things. So beautiful, and it's I did in the car, I think I started it in the car, with my body percussion I did all the time on my white body. I can try to replicate it. I sat there and was singing into myself, the melody, like, and I did it with the mouth percussion, like I didn't do that since I was a little baby boy, like, you know, and I was singing along with la 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 la. I'm kind of, my body is a bit fucked, and I have no voice, and it's all like in here and there. So forgive me my voice, and I feel like maybe in the night I was over there in America and screamed for the black people to Black Lives Matter, you know. Could be. Maybe, I don't know, I have, at least I have no voice really. So I'm gonna give my best. Let's go on. So it was Michael Jackson, and there's a lot of Michael Jackson. I could talk like 2 hours. I have a good, the song Beat It, it brought together my band. I had a concert when he died, on the day of death of Michael Jackson in 2009 with my band. On that day I played Beat It. I played it in the evening, and in the morning, the next day in the morning came the news. At school, a friend of mine came along. Did you hear Michael Jackson died? And I just was so what? Like, oh my God! I didn't believe it. I just didn't believe it, and because the day before I had a big concert. It was a really big concert with two of my soon to become bandmates of my first real band I had, Black Market, and I always it was inspired by Joe Zawinul's LP that I really also appreciate a lot. Wayne Shorter on it, Jaco Pastorius. I don't know which drama they had, but it's great record. Check it out. So I don't want to talk too much about Black Market, but yeah, check it out. It has cool grooves. Beautiful, beautiful. So Black Market, and I always thought a kind of like black marked, like with the marker. Black marked. It just came to my mind when I was thinking about it later, like. But I think I had this mindset back then also, like black marked, kind of like so. It's Beat It, then that I could talk endlessly, as I said. All this stuff was on there regularly. Back in the day, I have this iPod since that time, like 2009 or something. I bought that one. It's still working. It's not even full. It's 120 gigabyte. And there was everything on there. I'm talking about everything was on this thing. And yeah. Just end Michael Jackson now, because I should do another video for him to do him justice for the black people. Yeah. kind of I moved on back then. I had Michael Jackson as my first big influence, and then the next big thing that I had discovered on my own. There were some things in between, like the Backstreet Boys and so, like, and some kids music. I had these Schlümpfe CDs, which were basically covers with voices from these cartoon characters. I was 4 or 5. I had those CDs, and then I got the Backstreet Boys CD, and then I had a few compilations, and then came Eminem. And Eminem is a white person, but he's doing black music. I was going crazy for Eminem. I was the hip hop guy when I was like 9, 10 years old. Started out with the Marshall Mathers LP. I saw Stan in the TV, and I was impressed by the performance. And I ordered it in the mail order. Waited weeks every time I would come home from school. I did. The first thing I did was going to my mother, and my mama, like when she opened the door, when she was at home, when someone else was at home, we had someone also there because my mother had a disability, had something with the health, and so there would have been some workers there. So, but the first, when the door was open, the first thing, did a package come for me? And like after 2 or 3 weeks, then finally it was here, and I went up, dropped stuff on the floor, the school bag and all, and put it in, and listened to the Marshall Mathers LP. Didn't want to eat, didn't want to listen to it, and I was amazed, especially also the later songs on the record. I really like those. The skits, I didn't really understand them better. I didn't understand English at that day, but I liked the groove. I felt that there is something intensive, that there is something honest in it, that there is something that's it has something to say. That I noticed that it's a music that with a message, and you can think about Eminem and his lyrics how you want, but I'm a big fan, and I did not really understand most of it, and I also didn't understand why there was one happening. I was invited as a friend, and we did a camping, like we did put up a tent in the garden and had a night out there, and it was like we played camping, like whatever, I don't know why, but just put in like music player, Discman back then, and some boxes, and we would listen to music together and whatever. And I brought along D12, like it was the band of Eminem, the Purple Pills, for example, was the single, and there was the Marshall Mathers LP, and the mother of this friend, she took away my Marshall Mathers LP. She looked at the CDs and she didn't notice, that D12 was also Eminem on it, and she took it away because of the lyrics, because she thought like this is evil or whatever, and so she took it away, and we couldn't listen to to Eminem, but we had the night of D12, like just listened to D12 album over and over again. So this is a nice memory. Yeah, I liked Exhibit, Paint My Rides, that came later, yeah, but also, the X, Snoop Dogg, Snoop Diggle double G to the X to the motherfucking C. X, Mr. X, X, X in your bitch ass. I like the part in the end a lot, where Snoop comes in and talks like this like him, the way Snoop is rapping and talking, and it just says to me, cool. Oh my god, it's cool. This guy is so cool, and sounded like, yeah, Snoop Dogg. And then I went kind of more into, explored for some time Eminem. I did get the Slim Shady LP, which I also like a lot. I like the cover. Oh my god, this blue moon. Today is full moon. Suits the day. Strawberry full moon, they call it. My voice. Yeah, kind of. Now they close down, so I have to end this soon. God, oh my god, yeah. Yeah, maybe I have to cut it. So, Snoop Dogg, Eminem show, big impact, and after 8 Mile I just changed. I was getting older and Nirvana came along, so I think I continue this video at home. So let me finish this. So see you later.